Hi, it's Mike, V3MW from Flex Radio. And if you've ever wondered how those people do multiple copies or versions of WSJT or JTDX to do digital modes on your radio, I'm going to show you how to do that. And you don't need to have a Flex 6600 or an 8600 or a 6700 to do it. This thing works really well, especially if you have a very simple antenna system and radio like a Flex 6300, 6400, 6500, or the 8400. I'm going to show you how to set it up using a tool called SliceMaster. So let's have a look, see how that goes. So the first thing we're going to start out with is you want to set up SmartSDR with two pan adapters. And well, you can do this in slices if you're on the same band. We're going to do it in pan adapters because it's easier to understand. Now, granted, I'm using an 8600, but I'm only using antenna 1 on each case, and my antenna in this case is an HF6V vertical on 10 meters. We have, I was running on FT4 frequencies and FT8, but the important part of setting up SmartSDR is to make sure that you've got DAX set correctly, channel 1, and DAX on this one with channel 2. And if I bring up DAX and we look here on DAX, we see same sort of thing. Channel 1 for slice A, channel 2 for slice B. And of course, make sure you have your preamps and your AGCT set correctly. And it doesn't matter where the TX focus is, we can have it on either or. So that gets that part done. So, and make sure you have DAX running. So I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. And I'm going to bring up SliceMaster, which you can download online. And I'll just move me over here to the corner now. And SliceMaster has the ability to manage all this. So you'll notice here in the bottom of SliceMaster it says I'm connected to a Flex 8600 and Boathouse 2, which is the station name. Look at that, Boathouse 2. And if you don't see that, you need to have SliceMaster connect. And if you've never done that before, we go here to the three dots called an ellipsis, and there will be, because I have two radios on this network, but yours will be here, and you're just going to say connect, and that should be there, giving you a good status. So that's great. Now, it does assume you already have either WSJT or JTDX installed correctly, and you've used it at least once, because that sets up your sound card, so you have to have done that ahead of time. But if you're already running it day to day on a single slice, let's make it do more. So click on A here on the top tabs, and you'll see I have A, B, C, D. Well, that's because I have 4 slices. If you have a single spectral capture unit radio, you will only have 2. And if you had a 6700, you're going to have 8 of these. So let's just start WSJT by clicking on it. It's going to pop up. And we'll get rid of the pre-announcement for SuperFox. Because I'm trying to keep the screen small so you can all see it, I'm just going to move that over there. We don't need the wide graph. You can keep it up and running. It's not required. But one thing to check while you're here is make sure this goes from about 0 all the way to 3000. And that's the received bandwidth. What is set here does impact what is received in WSJT or JTDX. So we'll just get rid of it to save resources. And we're going to move SliceMaster just a bit out of the way. And we will shrink DAX. We don't need that. All right, great. Wow, we're not decoding anything. Well, that's because the mode is wrong. So we'll go mode, and we're going to go FT8. And we've set our frequency. It's gone to 28074 for 10 meters. Of course, because we changed mode, the Y graph popped up, and you'll see we're going to have a whole bunch of signals populate as we would expect. There we go. All right, so let's go to B in SliceMaster. I'm going to pick WSJT again, and it's going to pop up another copy. Ta-da! And I'm going to shrink SliceMaster because we don't need it anymore. And wow, it came up an MSK 144 because it was probably what I used it for the last time. That's okay. Let's change our mode to FT. Well, I said FT8. We could do that. Probably doesn't going to catch us anything. So let's go to FT4. it's going to change our frequency. The FT4 frequency is 28.180 for 10 meters. If yours doesn't pop up like that, you'll have to adjust the frequency. And now we're copying both. I'm going to make the screen just a bit smaller. Now you're wondering what happens if we go into transmit. Oh, perfect. That's a great layout. That's exactly what I want. We have A on one side, B on the other. And let's stretch this over a bit. And we'll drop this down so that you can see more of the call signs. All right. So 10 meter activity is still pretty good. But it looks like we're seeing FT4 on 10 meter fall off. Now, if you want to change bands, because we're using the same antenna, the common antenna, on a single spectral capture unit radio, let's drop down to, I don't know, let's go down to 15 meters on, let's 28.140 for FT4, but let's change that over to FT8. Again, we don't need the wide graph, it's personal preference. Let's work Hotel India 3 Kilo. I'm going to enable my transmitter. And let's give him a ring and see if he copies us. And what happens while this is going on is that the radio automatically moves its transmit focus to the band we're transmitting on as commanded by WSJT. And that's really useful, and you don't really need to worry about it. Now I can just focus about making contacts. And if you happen to have a radio with a bigger, with more slices, of course, we'll halt that. Then you can just slip back and forth and work different people at the same time. So that's how you work, or that's how you set up WSJT or JTDX for multiple bands using SliceMaster. Very powerful tool. And, hey, you get to poke around in a bunch of different places. 73, this is Mike, VA3MW. Have a great day and good DX.